We're back.
Sleeping what? Sleeping what?
Let's go see if we can find some food. Hey guys, we just got back from Legoland New York again, and I just want to share with you some updates. Legoland has made some announcements this summer, as well as some things that we got to try, like new foods. I'm Laura, here with my husband Nick and our 3 kids. I'll show you how we travel with dietary restrictions. We hope these guides help you plan your next gluten-free, dairy-free, stress-free vacation. We are 5 hungry travelers. When we were there, the weather was lovely. It was in the low 80s and really mercifully cool, given that there's so little shade there. But when it did start to heat up in the afternoon, we got a little sweaty, and so as long as we kept an eye out for umbrellas and awnings, we were fine. So let's move on. Breaking news from Legoland in Goshen, New York. We just heard officially from Legoland that there's an update on the splash area. We mentioned in a previous video when we were there in May that there were signs up that said coming July of 2022, but Legoland announced this week that the splash area will not be opening at all this season. So I'm sorry guys, maybe next year. We did get an email from Legoland before our visit saying that they had some new special early hours. We were there on a Sunday where it's normally scheduled to open at 10 a.m. and they said that as pass holders, we could get admission as early as 9. I want to call these like extra awesome hours or brick test, I don't know. I'm gonna make up a name for them because Legoland wasn't using any kind of special name for them. Anyway, extra hours for pass holders. I'm not sure if they're also offering a similar kind of special early admission or late hours for folks staying at the hotel. So if you have heard anything about that, let me know. Unfortunately, when we were there, we had my dad with us, and he's not a pass holder, and so we didn't actually take advantage of that. We had to arrive at 10 so as not to leave Papa behind. We're here with my dad today. Say hi, Papa. Say hi.
Hey.
And speaking of pass holders, Legoland just announced a new promotion for buy 3 annual passes, get 1 free. Now, we have really enjoyed our annual passes this year, and we're trying to decide if we're going to re-up them when they expire next month. And we were kind of waiting for the right promotion to do it, and we thought this might be the one, and then we saw in the fine print that it was only for new pass holders, that existing pass holders did not qualify. So this message is for you, folks at Legoland. We need a discount, so we'll sign up again. We like coming, but just give us a little something. And that's the news. So now let's head to the park. This was definitely the busiest I have ever seen the park. Sometimes there were waits that were as much as like 45 minutes for the posted wait times for certain rides, but you could tell that they were the rides that had very slow load times. They weren't, large capacity rides. And I think that between that and the fact that most rides only have 1 attendant, maybe 2, filling those seats, it was just a very painfully slow process. So if you see that the crowds are busy, it might slow you down if you want to go on a couple of those hot rides. I have heard that the Coast Guard Academy is one of those, but I don't think those are the best rides anyway. We went on some of our favorites and never had more than a 15-minute wait anywhere. So while we were walking around the park, it looked like there was a sea of people, but at no point did that ever slow us down. There was never a line for food. There were very few ride lines that affected us, and we had a very full day. We found the Ninjago ride we could walk right onto, and for the Lego Factory ride, there was maybe a 15-minute wait, but that was indoors in the air conditioning in the afternoon. We were actually kind of excited for the opportunity to use that to take a breather. Something we tried new this time that we have heard is a trick is to start with heading down Miniland and to the right and heading around the park that way, because some of the biggest rides are immediately on your left, and so many people go left that those can be really long waits in the morning. And we were suspicious but it worked really well for us. I think everyone coming from both ways kind of converges right at the castle area around lunch, and so there probably would have been a wait for the dragon coaster, but the dragon coaster was actually down the day we were there, and so we didn't get to ride it at all, and that's okay. There was enough other stuff to do. So this method really worked well for us, I think especially because it was a hot day, because we always find that at the end of the day we're at the bottom of the hill down in the pirate area and we have to trudge up through Miniland in the heat to get to the exit. And instead we had already come around and up and we were standing in the ride lines for Ninjago and the factory ride, which are indoor lines with air conditioning during the hottest part of the day. So especially on hot days, go right. We saw a lot more live entertainment. It felt like things that had been kind of closed up for many of our previous visits had opened up. And I think there were a lot more model citizens and employees wandering around, making it even more awesome than it has been for previous visits. One of the live entertainment things we saw was a pirate show. It was a couple of swashbuckling pirates that were teaching the kids how to be pirates. And they even handed out swords that they loan the kids so they can practice their moves and then turn them back in. But the jokes were great, the theming was great. It really added to the atmosphere. I was really impressed with a show just outside of the Ninjago ride. It was a group called Earth Beat and they were doing drumming. But there was some really great showmanship as well as some awesome drumming skills. It was really entertaining. We got to sit down and have our popcorn and sit under an umbrella and enjoy it. But they really got the audience involved and were trying to get folks to clap and really responsive. So it was a pretty fun little surprise moment there. Lastly, let me tell you what we ate because we are 5 hungry travelers and we were hungry. But wait, have you liked this video yet? And have you subscribed to our channel? Because if you haven't, it would really help us out a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks a whole bunch. Okay, now food. I was really excited about the ice cream stand down in Lego City that I've been told repeatedly has sorbets and dairy-free ice cream options, and it was still closed. There were other ice cream options, but those are all a la mode brand soft serve. They have that at a few different places, and if you're here for the allergen information, a la mode frequently articulates that they are nut-free. So if nuts are a concern, that's great for you. But if dairy is a concern, it's not. I'm still hoping someday to have that sorbet in Lego City. Now for lunch, I fully expected to get the rice bowl at Ninja Kitchen in the Ninjago area. But since we had gone to the right, we were actually down by Brickbeards and they have the same veggie rice bowl there. So there was no wait, and it was my first time in Brickbeards. That is a large area with some great indoor seating, plus a lot of outdoor seating under a shaded area. So you can choose what you prefer. I actually assume that the food up in Ninja Kitchen is made at Brickbeards because they have the full prep area there. So you might even be getting the food a little more fresh if you choose to eat it at Brickbeards. This dish was pretty decent. My kids ate all the broccoli and carrots and they left behind the onions and other veggies for me. I did have a packet of coconut aminos that I brought from home and I asked them to leave the sauce off of it. That way we could avoid soy. I was also going to get a salad at Brickbeards to go with it, but I asked to see the packaging on all the dressings and none of them were something I was confident eating, so I went ahead and skipped that. Actually, funny story, they had a bottle of balsamic vinegar up on the counter and I asked if I could use that as a dressing and the guy said, "Oh no, that's decorative." And you could kind of tell, like it was dusty, but he said, "We've had people try to pour that on their salads and I would not do it." So, decorative balsamic. Okay guys, we finally got to try everything taco and red alert. Red alert for vegetarians out there. I asked for the allergen binder, which I don't think I would have done had we not been gluten-free and strictly dairy-free. If I were just being loosely vegetarian, I would have ordered the veggie bowl and called it a day. But the allergen binder told me that both the salsa options there have chicken bouillon in their base. So if you're trying to eat vegetarian, I'm afraid neither of the salsas work for you. And without it, it's a pretty plain bowl of rice and beans and a little bit of peppers and corn. I mean, we still got it. We still ate it. But I had brought some chips from home, and I was glad that kind of added something to it, because it's definitely kind of sad to have a burrito bowl with no salsa. Actually, they would do really well to get some corn chips, because they don't have corn tortillas. They only have flour tortillas, which don't work for those avoiding gluten. And some corn chips would go really far. But the chips we brought were great for scooping it up and making it a complete meal. Our biggest new surprise on the food front was the new Brick Street Cafe. Last time we were there, it was closed, and we were disappointed because we used to go there for grab-and-go options, prepackaged snacks and drinks, but it's new and glittery and still called Brick Street Cafe, but now they're making real espresso drinks. Coffee with an oat milk option. I went back for a latte in the afternoon, and it was really lovely. They used Planet Oat brand oat milk, and it gave me all the caffeine I needed for my drive home. I was really impressed with the equipment and the care that the staff had in preparing these espresso drinks. It's clear that they had some training. We brought back our popcorn bucket this time and tried to get a refill. We had purchased the bucket at Showtime Snacks by the amphitheater, and we took it there for a refill, and they said they don't refill at that location. You actually had to go up the hill to a place called What's Poppin' by the Duplo train and Smokey's Barbecue, and that's where you got the refill. It wasn't difficult at all, and it was only $6.50 for a refill, which is great because that full-size popcorn bucket is $12.49, and so when my baby spilled it, we were able to go get another refill for $6.50. One cool final tip: did you know that there is a bus from the city that goes direct to Legoland and back? So my husband had something he needed to do for work, and he works in New York City, and he was able to catch a bus right outside of the front gate, kind of in the handicap accessible parking. And it took him directly into the city for what he needed to do that evening. It was really easy. So, New Yorkers, come on out of the city and have a fun day with your kids. Pretty neat. It was a really awesome day. I mean, seriously, everything was awesome. It was awesome to have my dad there. It was really lovely weather, and I do think we will be back soon. So, now we just have to decide what to do about the annual pass. I hope this helps you plan your trip. I hope it helps you pick out some delicious things to eat and be prepared for what you need to bring along with you. And I hope you guys stay healthy and have fun. If you like this video, please subscribe, give it a like, and we hope to see you next time. Bye guys. Lego wave. Thanks for watching, travelers.